Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? So, we're gonna try doing a session today. Um, we wanna make we wanna make this system work with IPFS, and in IPFS, we want to kind of understand a little bit about um, putting stuff there. And so we started this um, JS mastery, and you know we have all this sequence. So we'll probably go back to continuing this today. So let's see what we got. We're on third sequence. So this is our fourth sequence here. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. All right, so we did. We're starting from the bottom, and we did all these guys. Um, Save it JSON. Um, all right, hold up. Let's connect this charger here real quick. Um, However, write down how you guys have been feeling in the past couple of days. Write down your situation, how you guys been, what's been going on that's new. It'd be interesting to hear your guys' comments. Um, because you know, see what you guys are going on. What's going on with you guys on the other side? All right, so the charger. Thank God. So we're gonna try cracking out a couple more projects over here. Excuse me. We kind of have a bunch of projects here that we gotta fix. All right. Anyway, um, just gonna try going from the very beginning. Um, Loop through an array. Um, we're gonna just try to add more app app more things to do. Let's see. Start from start from here. All right, so we're just gonna make a little reminder for everybody, including me and anybody who here is watching. Um, that is where we're gonna have to start from, and we're gonna try to crank these guys out over here. Um, all right, so how many projects would you need to do in order to understand arrays um, in JS? Um, basic projects, basic projects, and how many of the basic snippets that you would need to know that by default of doing it you would be able to grasp raise very well. All right. Excuse me. All right, here's a little roadmap to get you array fluent. All right, write out the snippets though. Okay. All right. So okay, fine. So it started going. All right, fine. So creating and inspecting. All right, so we're gonna do. Okay, so hold on. 10 essential snippets. All right, so this is our project today. With God's help, we'll finish it. Let's make this JS so then we could see the colors. All right, there you go. So, all right, we got this guy over here. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to do index. We're gonna make three sequence. The sequence, first sequence, mini projects. So we're still in the mini projects. Template literals. All right. So we're gonna do today. We're gonna make a project called new file 21 arrays dot html. All right. So excuse me. Maybe we'll just do JS. All right. So um, so we got our JS over here. We're gonna do const array equals 1, 2, 3, and boom. We got our array. Console dot log our length. So that was gonna give us the length probably. Console dot log array dot is array are true. Adding is removing. All right, so this is the next one. Oops. All right, so I'm gonna do adding and removing. So we're gonna try running this guy over here. Let's see if we can run it on this guy. Run debugging. Oh, JS. All right, whatever. We're not gonna go crazy with this. Just gonna run it off in this guy over here. All right, so if you know how to do the executing the Node.js on the what's it called? Um, uh, on the um, on the VS Code, write it down on the chat for sure because it'd be good to know. We got 2020. What is this guy? 21. So we got node. We want to write node 21 arrays. All right. Boom. True. All right. So this is what it gives us. Excuse me. True. Now we want to ask ChatGPT. Hold on. What is this? And figure out what it means. Yo, what's this? What is this? Like array, etc. In JavaScript, array is a built-in constructor function, really an object that comes with both static methods called directly, call directly on an array object itself. Array is array of items. What is array dot for though? When you say array at start, you're calling a static method. The question is though, what real life world problems would be that if you see them, you would be like, oh, hey, let's write array dot etc. Here's some real life scenarios. Okay, validating input API backend. Your backend function accepts either array. Let's say you're speaking to like a simple person over here. Person over here. Alright, let's them down. Make sure you got a list. Grandma, I tell you one chore. Wash the dishes, bruh. Or list of chores: sweep, mop, dust. You want to always treat it like a list, so you can loop over each chore. All right. You want to always treat it like a list, so you can loop over every chore. Okay, fine. Keep it. Turning a fake list into a real list. Splitting a phone number into digits. Creating a tiny to-do list. Finding. Okay. Tell you one chore. Wash the dishes. All right. Or a list of chores. Sweep, mop. You want to always treat it as a list so you could loop over each chore. What do you mean? Imagine you write one piece of code to handle all chores. The same way. Imagine you write one piece of code to handle all chores the same way. Whether the user gave you one chore or 10. If you force your input into an array, your looping logic never has to care. What do you mean your looping logic never has to care? When I say your looping, I mean, once you've converted whatever input into an array, the piece of code that actually goes through each chore can be written once without any extra checks. Imagine you always have a box of chores, and even if there's one chore in it, your job is to pull chores out of the box one by one, no matter what the heck they are. Okay? What do you mean though? Think of the array as a physical box of full chore slips. Once you got all the chores tucked box, you can reach in and grab each slip one after the other, doing the same thing to each. For each chores, for each chore slip. Oh, okay. It's just Start with let's go some more. Start with the first item. Chores do something. Chores do something. The question is though, how come you put this arrow function inside though? Because for each user function, oh man, this didn't even explain this what this meant. All right, array is array. Okay, fine. Array is array input. Oh man, no, what is this, bro? All right, so it might tell you one chore, wash dishes, or a list of chores. Sweep, mop, dust. You always want to treat it like a list, so you can loop over each chore. All right, all right, sounds good. All right, but the question is like, what is this guy talking about over here? You want to always treat it like a list of loops, so you could do a loop over each chore. You changed the code from this though. We Normalization snippets, so exactly. What we've been doing since is showing how and when you would use those array methods. So let's zero in on static array calls, right? As an array. Everyday world problems for array methods. Scenario: setting a page that lets people pick multiple favorite genres. Okay, favorites. So array is array. Converting is called like something like ES6 arrays or something. There isn't a specific ES6 array class. You're still using built-in array. It's 5 array is array introduced. Why did they introduce though? Need a reliable and ambiguous way to test is is this thing is this thing really an array? Because the old tricks weren't good enough. Type of lies, object, object. Okay, instance breaks off realms. Const I frame r equals window dot frames array. Const r equals new iframe. If you embed code into another frame or always get from from different VM contexts instead of can give you false negatives. Object prototype to string is clunky. Works but it's verbose. Enter array is array accurate. It's true. Okay. Concise. One call instead of hacky to string or fragile. Alright. The introduce is 5 to give developer simple. Alright. Is array true, false. Alright, fine. That makes sense. Array is array. Okay, fine. Makes sense. Um, what else? You got. How do you. Alright, so we got this guy. Array is array. Array is array. Array. Okay, fine. So we could say we got this guy down. Yo, let's go. Alright. Start from here. So we're gonna make another bookmark. Bookmark. All right, so we're gonna have a little bookmark tag, so we know where we're at. Excuse me. All right. Array is array. True. Okay. So this is a way of testing if something is an array. All right. So we're gonna do, for example, maybe if we want to write uh const box equals hello. We do console. Oops. Const array box. Oops. Box. All right, now let's see if it works. Oh, what? That's funny. 3. Something's off here. Oh, that's why. Hold on. This is still because it's not in the right one. Let's see what it gives us. False. All right, so this is a way of checking if an array is really an array. And got this guy over there. Says it's not. So, all right. We're gonna go to the next one. Next mini project. We're gonna do 22. Adding and removing array dot js. All right, guys, this is pretty cool. Um, we're doing JS, literally just vanilla JavaScript. Pretty exciting. All right, let's do this. We are gonna go. We're gonna make. Oops. Const array equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're gonna push 5. Array push 5. Const last equals r dot pop. Last. All right, let's try to see what happens here. All right, so we got this guy. Let's put it away. All right, let's check it out. All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna copy this name. All right, so we're gonna do ls node. Boom. Nothing happened. So, oh, okay, because we gotta do console log. Console.log push. I want to see R Arties. All right, let's do this. Okay. Node. All right. Oh, look at this. All right, so um, const last equals r dot pop. What that means? We got console dot log r. All right. Let's see what it means now. Oh, look at this. Const equals last. Let's see what it does. Console dot log last. Okay. Okay, yeah, so that just cut it and it placed it inside there, which is interesting. It's last dot pop. All right. Okay, we got this guy. Remove last and store it in last. Const. Okay. Add at front. Unshift. Let's see. R dot unshift 0. Let's do console dot log r. Let's see this guy in action. Oh, okay. So it adds a 0. Let's ask it why. Let's ask it how come. How come it's called unshift to put in the front first though? Oh, it comes down to symmetry with existing shift method. Shift moves elements. Shifts removes the first element. It shifts everything down by one index. Unshift does the opposite. It shifts. Okay, fine. Let's see what shift does. Okay. Console.shift const first equals r dot shift. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see this guy in action. All right. Oh, okay. We gotta actually. That's why it's not working. All right. It shifts everything down, and then if we want to unshift, um, mm, unshift. If we want to unshift, r dot unshift equals 0 equals 7. Let's see what happens again. Console dot log r. There you go. That's funny. All right, that's cool stuff, you guys. All right, so we finished with this. Maybe we're gonna see what we could do by maybe trying to make a game with arrays. All right. If you want to make a game using only arrays in JS in order to learn arrays as a default of making the game, what would be the game? Or is it better to make like a couple of small project games that by doing them you learn arrays in JS? Pick a game whose entire state can live in a few arrays. Pick a game whose entire state can live every game. Okay, let's see a couple of projects that meaning small little games in JS that by doing them learn raise as a default. All right. Thinking here for push pop. Let's see code for it though also. Hey, hold up. Only in JS though, bro. Guess history number game. Rock, paper, scissors. Okay. How would you learn all of JS by making small little games like l- like how many little games would you have to make in order to be a boss at J at GS? And what would they be from 0 to 100? Thinking. All right, let's see what this guy can do. Okay, here's a 10-step program. Hello world button. Write the code though for all the projects. And remember, they should all be games. Hello world button. The games should be all in the all for node. All right, let's see. All right, let's start. How would you? Okay, let's do this guy. All right, let's do this one. How would you learn Node? How would you teach a person Node from 0 to 100 by making small little games? Um, what's that word? Um, um, eh, uh, no, acknowledging the fact that the person doesn't know anything. All right, let's see what it can do. Game just prints hello. Ready to play. Hello. Write out the code for all these though. Oh man. Alright, let's go back to this guy. Read line. Guess the number. Game 2, coin flipper. Alright, this looks like pretty cool. Alright, let's try to make this game. Alright. Alright. So we're gonna continue with these sequences. This is our JS mastery course. Um, Mo open folder. JS mastery. Let's make another guy called node mastery. New folder. Node mastery. All right. So we're gonna get this guy over here. Sequence one. Sequence one. The JS. File. One. One mini. One mini. Bot. One mini bot. All right. So we got our first sequence for one mini bot. Okay. Mini game. Let's call it mini game. Mini game. All right. So we got our mini. We got our sequences that we gotta go through. Uh, Chat GPT said. Uh, so this is our mini game. Game two. So what we're gonna do here. All right. So we got our kind of a project set up here. All right. So let's check it out. All right. So we got a read line. Uh, Read line. Terminal input output variables and conditionals. All right. So we got const Read line equals require require reread line. All right, so I don't know why we gotta use this. So hopefully you guys will see, and we'll see together what's the reason coming up. Just copying the text right now. Const rl equals read line create interface. I've honestly never seen any of this type of code before. Input process dot st. Wait, hold up. Process dot. Oh, what? Process stdin output std out. Out. Oops. All right, so let's just copy this. We're gonna try to see how it works real quick, and we'll ask questions on this code. Because I'm also kind of curious. Uh, you guys can probably see. We'll try to figure it out. All right, so let's try to figure this guy out real quick. Okay, so clear this guy out over here. CD out, JS mastery out, clear, JS mastery out, CD node mastery. All right, ls. All right, so now what we're gonna do is node one mini game. All right, guess a number between 1 and 0. 1. Ah, dang. Dang it. It was 2. Alright, fine. Alright, so let's try to figure this out real quick. Secret number, math random. Okay. RL question. Okay, so the question is first of all, what in the world is this over here? What is this? What is excuse me. Great line. Alright, is this a data structure? No, it is not a data structure. It's an interface. All right, it's an interface for input output handling in Node.js. It's not an array, not an object, not a map or a stack. It's a tool. All right. If so, how can it be stored in a const though? Great catch. This is an important JavaScript concept. Yes, you can store an interface or an object in a const. Here's why. Const in JavaScript means you can reassign a variable itself, but it doesn't make the object immutable. Const. This means you can't do this later. I can still call methods. Excuse me. Interesting. Think of const like this variable name points to a specific object and can't point to anything else. But the object itself is still functionable, modifiable through its methods. Alright, fine. For comparison, object equals David. Sarah is allowed. Object age equals 25 allowed. Uh, you can't make a new object. That's what he's saying. You can only add to the object. So yes, storing something like this, read line, create interface in a const is normal and correct. But because you never need to reassign it, you just use its methods. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. What is create interface though? Excellent question. All right. Good. We'll make this smaller. Uh, create interface. Second question: what is create interface? Is a function that comes with built-in readline input module. What does require readline? Let's zoom in. This is how you import a built-in Node.js module. Yes. Oh, go get me readline toolbox of Node and hand it to me readline. All right, let's try to see what happens if it's just this. Let's see what happens if you just do this. RL question. Guess a number. This is so cool. Okay, if you get this thing, probably you'll be such a boss. All right, let's try to get this guy over here. Let's try to understand this. All right. Um. Okay. Wanted me to show you how this works. Require how many? Okay, many games would you have to make in order to understand as a default of making the game Node.js do? Excellent mindset. Guess the number. Deadline. Okay, guess the number. Okay, this question is this. It's always this arrow function. Okay, how many mini games would you have to make in Node.js in order to understand arrow functions as a default though? Great question. You're thinking like a real builder. To deeply understand how arrow functions in Node.js especially are used in games. All right, quick. Hold up. Oh, okay, so. Mom, mom. Окей, бай, мам, я тебе перезвоню. И это, как сказать? Okay. All right. So, quick score tracker. All right. So we're trying to understand um too many game arrow. JS. Okay. Too many game arrow. All right. So um we got this mini quick score tracker over here. Um Scores for each score arrow simple function score how many would you have to do though in order to understand this though? Love the focus. You're zooming in onto a real skill building approach for micro games. For each. All right, fine. All right, let's try to figure this out. Seems pretty boss. All right. Mini game one score announcer. All right. Mini arrow. Okay. We have const scores equals 2 for 60. Okay. Random number scores for each score score console.log. That's funny. You scored. Score. You scored. Score. All right, let's get it. So node mastery. Let's see what else this guy has over here. Node Too many. All right. That's interesting. All right. For each score, console log, you scored two. The score. Okay. That makes sense. Scores for each score, you scored. Let's say each Bob. Let's see if it works for if we just write some random word for each Bob. See? That's crazy. Okay. See if now it works. That's funny. But how does it know? That's the question. Okay. How many um how many how many um mini games would you have to know? How many mini games would you have to know make in order to, as a default, understand the of for each though? X array. Is it better to learn arrow functions independently of the for each method though first, or the former is better instead? That's the thinking. Learn in the right order, go faster questions. It's better to learn arrow function independently first. Okay. How many games, how many mini games you have to make in order to understand arrow functions as a default though? Solid question. Super important. Basic syntax. All right. Const greet equals name. Convert the normal function into an arrow function. Okay, const greet equals name. Console log hi name. Greet Zelda. All right, that's funny. All right, do this. Greet.js. Greet.js. All right, so we got const greet equals name equals console.log backtick. Zelda, greet, um, Maestro, Maestro, greet Maestro, greet Maestro. All right, we're gonna try to greet Maestro. Hey, Maestro. Hey, Maestro. All right, sounds good. All right, so greet name, double the points. All right, score map. For this though, is it better to learn uh scores dot map first, or better to learn arrow functions first? Okay, what's another good mini game to learn other than that focuses on arrow function, that by doing it you will understand it as a default though? Love it. You're asking what's another simple real mini game that folks just for all right. Maybe without using dot map, because we would have to focus on that though. We have to focus in on that though. Perfect. Think like a real coder now. Let's start arrow functions but that allow map. Alright. Calculate damage. Attack defense. Fence. Battle damage. You create an arrow function called calculate damage. That takes the enemy's defense and your attack strength and returns how much damage you do. And returns how much damage you do. Okay, calculate damage, attack, defense. That's probably the parameters. Function equals attack, defense. What are these though? There any way we can get some games we can code some new some mini games without getting like new sets though. So let's say let's not pile up so right, a mini shouter. Shout name. Okay, shout name equals const log. Okay. Basic adder. Oh, this is so cool. All right, so okay, we did shout. No, okay, now we're gonna do for shouter dot js name shouter. Uh, this is gonna be yeah. There you go. All right, so we're making a mini game shouter. Shout uppercase. Yes. Got a game sequence over here. And what we're gonna do, uh, copy our intermediary box over here. All right. All right. So we're gonna make a name shouter. Const shout name equals name. Name console dot log. So the log name to uppercase. All right. Shout name link. Let's make him. What's this guy's name? Mar. Mar. All right. So let's see what this happens. Shout name. Name equals name. Console log name to uppercase. So right. It's an interesting case. All right, so we're gonna try to make it do this. All right, so for louder. Hey, all right. Uh, David. Hey, this is cool. All right. Uh, Susan. Mm, here we go. Susan. All right. This is pretty boss, you guys. All right, you guys. This is pretty cool. We got this arrow functions that we did. We got a couple games that we gotta do. We crossed out a couple projects today, and uh got these dollar signs that we did. Anyway, good job everybody who followed along, and good job you're coding up a bunch of code over there. That's bringing you guys some knowledge and skills that you can do. All right. Anyway, peace out, guys, and we wish you good success in everything you do. All right. Peace.